Now I know you're already probably looking at this like, it's a Bluetooth speaker. And yes, it does that too, but that's not the main reason it exists or what it's even designed to do. Now, I will tell you why this does exist, but I want to show you how it's going to change the way you game, or at least how you enjoy gaming with your friends. Now, before you turn away, I know you're probably thinking, this isn't something I need. But if you game with a headset, you have to ask yourself, have you ever had ear cups so tight or small or weirdly shaped that it just crushed your ears? Or maybe had a headset so tight that your glasses get dug into the side of your head? Or maybe just after some long gaming sessions, your neck's waving the white flag because you're freaking just in pain from holding your head up with that extra weight. Well, believe it or not, there is a solution rolled into this. What I have for you today here is the Trivolo U from BenQ. Now, it has a pretty impressive spec sheet, but the most impressive part of it is the software and the technology that they crammed into this rather tiny little guy. So let's start with the obvious. Yes, this can be a Bluetooth speaker, and yes, you can use it to make calls. Now, none of that is new or breakthrough. However, those of you that have used a Bluetooth speaker to take or make calls know it's a kind of buggy and unreliable experience, and then even then the quality is usually pretty poor at best. I mean, you're usually doing this to like go up back and forth to like hear it, and then you talk directly into the mic so the person can then hear you. What you're hearing now is the audio inserted from my actual use of the Trivolo. This is achieved with the tech built into the Trivolo, like the voice enhancement technology and the acoustic echo cancellation. The other nice part about making phone calls with this and taking calls is the fact that it's all hands-free with their 12-degree elevation design. And yes, I know you're chomping at the bit to figure out how this is going to revolutionize the way you game. Like I mentioned before, there are ailments that can come from using a headset, at least in long sessions. And just to be clear, I'm not saying this will replace your headset full time. However, this is something that can at least be helpful when you need it or just, again, want to have a slightly different experience. This one little device can be your system speakers and your mic in, so that way you don't need a full streamer setup to be able to game with your friends without wearing a headset. Let's say you just want to have an easy night, play some retro games or some dungeon crawlers with your buddies. Well, with this, you can sit back in your chair, no headset, and save your neck or your ears or your temples the unneeded pain that you get from wearing a headset, again, long term. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's kind of interesting and it's a good point, but the sound has to suck coming from such a small speaker. The bright side is, BenQ has that covered. With their duo drivers and their passive radiator and their one-piece design, this provides solid audio for music, gaming, and conference calls or any kind of online format. Yes, you probably don't want to hear that annoying coworker in crystal clear sound, but you'll be happy when you aren't the one missing out on an important note from your boss. Now, let's pretend for a minute that you're a real human and not just a gamer. I know, that's kind of crazy. But in some ways, the world is changing, and some of those are actually pretty good. If you're someone who takes remote classes, the Trivolo can help you. It will enhance even poor quality audio from Zoom, Teams, or other apps that your schools tend to use. On top of you hearing them better, they will hear you better, and not your environment. So keyboard clicks or your dog will not interfere thanks to BenQ's noise reduction and acoustic echo cancellation. Another way that this can actually benefit you is the fact that it can make you sound more professional. Recently, I was looking for a new job. I did find one, but every interview up until that point was virtual. And honestly, something like this can help you sound, again, more professional, more eloquent versus, sounding like you're coming through like a 1980s walkie-talkie with a loose 9-volt battery. You can honestly take some comfort and solace in the fact that a company like BenQ, who's been around for such a long time, will be constantly updating and improving upon their product. This includes things like firmware updates. When I got mine, there was firmware updates available, and they did add some functionality. They helped enhance some of any issues and the bugs and other, just normal features that it has. They just made it better. And the nice part is it's actually a really easy, simple, seamless process to do the firmware updates, something crazy or dangerous. Speaking of simple, it can connect to your device by Bluetooth, aux cable, or USB-C. All the controls are on top and easy to access. It has a 12-hour battery life to last your whole day or most gaming sessions. Guys, I know this one was a little bit different, but I want to show you some unique and fun tech gear and sometimes stuff that's just honestly helpful in ways maybe you didn't think about. So do me a favor. Drop your comments below, drop any questions down there as well. I'll try to get to as many of them as I can. And please hit that like, subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one.